Have you ever noticed that some days feel really amazing and then some days feel really bad, and most of the days in between just kind of feel average? Well, this pattern isn't random, and once you understand it, you can use it to make the average days better. To explain this, we'll need to talk about something called your baseline. Your baseline is your average level of happiness over time. And it's not your best days and it's not your worst days. It's where you kind of fall in between. And just for a quick example, if we look at this graph here, the swing highs being your happiest days and the swing lows being your saddest days. And then in between, this is your baseline. And this is basically where you sit on average. And the kind of idea with increasing your baseline is to move this from 0 to +1, not all the way up to 3, but to gradually increase your baseline so that your base level of happiness is actually higher. So the chart that I just showed you guys here, you can't actually get like your exact base level or baseline of happiness. This is just a really good graphical representation to just understand the concept so you can kind of wrap your head around it, but you're not going to get your exact level. So to dive into this a little bit deeper, we need to understand a rule that I call the 10-80-10 rule. And what this basically explains is that 10% of your days are going to be really good, at the top. 80% of your days are going to be average, just kind of normal. And then another 10% is going to be probably really bad. And that's just kind of how life works when you observe it. There's ups and there's downs, but this isn't the problem. We're not trying to avoid the high swings up and the high swings down. That's not the point. When most people see this, they'll probably think, oh, I just want to try and eliminate all those bad days and just have those top 10% of days in my life. And while it's not a bad thought, we don't want to eliminate those bad days. It's not possible. We can try to mitigate them. However, we're never going to get rid of them, and we shouldn't try to avoid feeling them, as they're just a natural and healthy part of life. A better approach is to study your top 10% of days that you have and analyze them and see what you can apply from them into your life. And that's what we're going to do next. I want you to think about the graph like this. We're not trying to take this graph and make every day number 3. Basically, what we're trying to do is take our baseline from 0 and move it up to 1. Now, this one shift can help change everything in your life. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I want you to grab a pen and paper or a device of your choice, and I want you to brainstorm and think in the past year, what made my top 10% of my days? What did they consist of? For example, for me, my top 10% of days included doing something physically active, spending social time with friends and family that was meaningful and valuable to my life. Typically reading a book and just trying something new. Once you've discovered what makes up your top 10% of days, I want you to brainstorm how you can implement more of these activities into your daily life. Now, you're not trying to jam every single one of them into your calendar. What I want you to do is basically just pick 1 or 2 that you can implement throughout the week to help raise that baseline just a little bit. And for example, if something gets in your way and stops you from doing one of the activities, for example, if I want to implement, say, 3 to 4 social events throughout the week, and something is prohibiting me from doing it, I will look at that thing that is prohibiting me from doing those activities and ask myself if this is really necessary and important to my life, or if it's just kind of a filler of my time. And depending on what the outcome is, I'll just either get rid of it or move my schedule around. To raise your baseline, you don't need to change your whole life or re-engineer it. All you need to do is just take these top 10% of days and the activities that they consist of and try and implement them more throughout the week. You're just trying to raise your baseline from 0 to 1. And gradually over time, this will improve your happiness and your satisfaction with your life and what you're getting out of it. So with all that said, I hope you found this video helpful and valuable as I have. And I just pray that God be with you along your journey and along your way.